Okay, part 2 of painting practice on our examples here, our Sandra examples. So I know I mentioned that you needed to pick out of the media album a picture that was kind of inspirational to you and use that kind of as your jumping off point. We're not going to add anything necessarily to the kids' artwork, but we are looking at a lot of this background painting and the way she used color and letting that kind of inspire us. So I wanted to pull one up and make sure that I'm demonstrating that to you, kind of what we're expecting. We always want to start in the background and work our way up. So that's why we're not dealing with the lips or the eyes yet. We're working on background spaces first. So make it a little bit more light here. It's getting dark. All right, so let's work on this next section right in here. And we did warm colors here and warm colors here. So now I'm gonna get into some of these cool color shifts. So I'm gonna try and mix this turquoise color, which is gonna be kind of a combination of, I think I'll start with some blue. I'm gonna mix a tint of blue, pick up a little bit of white. And you're gonna follow and do this exact same thing right along with me. You're stuck with doing what I do on this one, and then you get to branch off on your own and be creative on your kids' artwork. So I'm gonna try and kind of just get some blues that look like they're in this same color family. This is gonna be kind of that, this blue that's right, kind of drizzled through there. And then I'm gonna scrape that extra off my brush. Then I'm gonna get into my green and take it down a couple notches. So this is gonna be more of a blue-green. So I'm gonna take some green and some blue, mix those together first, get it a little bit more bluish green. And then I wanna knock that down a little bit with some white. And like we said, your plates are gonna just be pretty much a hot mess when we're done. They should be. Keep your circles tight and small when you're mixing so you've got extra room, but this whole surface is gonna be covered and layered with all these different fun tints and shades. And you will find from day to day, if it's a small amount of paint that you mix, it might dry. If it does, you can mix a new something right over the top of it and it'll be fine. So I like those. Those are pretty good, pretty close. I could probably take this one down just a little bit more white mixed in. I might even do half and half. I might let half of my paint blob here be this lighter color and part of it be the darker so that I can get some good shading going on. Okay. I'm just gonna start with what's in my brush, this lighter color, and I'm gonna paint this underneath the eye. I am actually okay with that blue. It's gonna be just fine. Like we talked about before, short strokes. You want to leave a little bit of white space for where the different areas of pencil line were, that's just fine too. I'm only going to go about that far, I think. And then I'm going to clean my brush out. And I'm going to pick up a little bit, I want some more green that's a little lighter green to mix in here. So I grabbed some white and just a teeny bit of green. Kind of think like a minty green, mint chocolate chip. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of just throw that in underneath, and then I'm gonna dry brush both together. This is very similar to what we did here. Just trying to get some change in value. Rinse my brush, dry my brush, And while both are still wet, I want to work on sweeping over the top. Sweep, 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 so that those two colors blend together. Now, if you let the turquoise get dry, they're not going to blend together. If that happens, just recoat your turquoise with a second coat, work a little faster, then put your mint chocolate chip color on, and then dry brush them together, and you should get a nice value change. Okay. Now we kind of start moving into some blue. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that blue that I just mixed, and that's going to come in underneath, right in through here. Again, I want to work a little bit quickly, just so that I can kind of dry brush those together. Rinse, clean it out, dry it off, and sweep. Might have to dry some more of that off if it's kind of just spreading the paint around. Now, if you feel like you lose the mint color, it's okay. Sweep it out so that it's smooth. Deal with that issue first. And then once you've got it smooth, pick up a little bit more mint and just pull it back in. And then dry brush out the edges. Speed is the issue here. So if you get distracted or you start talking to those around you, you're gonna lose that dry time. Okay. So I've got turquoise, I've got a nice mint green, I've moved into blue. Now I want to pull in a little bit of purple, and I want a lighter purple. So I'm going to just, over here on the side of my plate, grab a little bit of purple. Mix a tiny spot. And I may actually do a little bit of like a color streaking effect here. Okay, little purple. Now you will notice that we are going in order of the color wheel here. Green moves into blue, blue moves into purple. That's a direct follow in the color wheel. You can tell if your plate's set up like the color wheel, we're just wrapping around this way through our cool colors. Whenever you paint next door neighbor colors to each other, you are guaranteed that they will blend well and they will look good together. This gets more complicated if you start jumping around. If I try and blend purple with orange, I might have issues with things starting to look brown. So I would say play it safe since you're new to this. Need a dryer brush, it's just pushing the paint. Blend it out. We don't want a line between the two colors. So first just get this layer smooth, then go back to the blue, put a little bit of it in there, and we're gonna dry brush those two colors together. Pull the paint back out of my brush, and just right along the edge, teeny tiny little strokes. It's almost like I'm just tapping at it. It's not as much painting right here as it is just blending. You want nice, smooth transitions. Okay. Acrylic paint is not see-through, so it can be stacked in layers. So now you've got this really cool variation thing going on, from dark to light to blue to purple, and it looks pretty smooth. Okay, smooth is the goal. I will come back later and add those black dots over the top, but right now I'm just doing underneath stuff. I'm gonna pull some of this same light color scheme up into this triangle now. I'm gonna go purple in the corner, and I might even try and pull in a little pink, start moving it in a little warmer direction. So I'm gonna do a little bit of purple, Clean my brush. I still have some leftover pinks, it looks like, from yesterday when I did my value scales. I'm gonna grab a little bit of those pinks. Put a little pink in right next to the purple, because again, I'm just working my way around the plate. Some next door neighbor colors, so we're safe there. They should blend nicely. I'm gonna take the pink down a little bit in the corner, get it a little lighter. Kind of trying to copy what's going on right up in here. Okay. And again, right now I'm trying to work fairly fast so that these colors don't dry and I can blend them. Okay, clean that brush out, dry it off. And now come back on the middles and do a little bit of nice tapping. See if you can start kind of blending all that together. Take away all those hard edges. Like you're just poking at it almost. Okay. My purple looks a little bit see-through and streaky, so I need to come back in. Tap a little bit more purple in here so it's even. And dry it, and I'll blend it one more time just so that it doesn't look like I came in after the fact. Okay. Really soften that edge, and that's good. Okay. Okay, I've got a little bit more space to finish out this top edge. And as I was looking at my picture, I kind of like this technique where it's kind of dry brushed through here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and do that in this section. I'm gonna dry my brush out really good. It's clean, it's dry. And I'm gonna try double loading this. So on the front part of my brush, I'm gonna just put on a little bit, teeny bit of blue, like that, okay? And on the back of my brush, I'm gonna try, I think, a little bit of purple. So can you see how my brush has two colors on it? And then I'm gonna just pull from the top edge down. So lift my paper a little bit. Let's see if I can get kind of that streaky effect. And I'm kind of flipping my brush a little bit towards myself when I do this. That's gonna mean I have a little bit of white paper. I'm pushing it all the way down to the eye, but I'm not going through the eye. Okay, I'm running out, so I'm gonna do it again. Time out, I have to yell at my dogs. Okay, we're back. So a little bit, teeny bit on the front of blue. Make sure you don't switch and do the opposite of what you did the first time. Teeny bit of purple on the back. You absolutely need to make sure you have your flat brush when you're doing this. Lift your page up a little bit. Just barely streak it. Now, so that I don't have too much white paper showing, I'm trying to kind of intentionally push it down pretty close to that line. Okay, just try. See what you can come up with on that one. It's kind of a fun one. Right. Let's go to this great big background area back in here. For that area, since we've already used warm right here, let's change it up. We don't